Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Yvette, and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time, please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, share. It really helps the algorithm. It really helps us to get the information out to a wider group of people. So today, I am going to talk about how I came to step into my divine purpose and just took the leap and leave behind the life that I once knew, that I once valued, that I aspired to, and was very proud of. Well, first of all, my awakening, my spiritual awakening, really, I can say formally started to take place about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, in a big way. You know, it was always there, but it really slowly started to just open up, and I started to feel and think differently. But something did trigger it. Like a lot of us, sometimes it's very uncomfortable and things happen that are very unpleasant. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't even do it. Okay. And all I can say was that that's where my healing began, really. So in a sense, that negative thing, which appeared to be negative, was really something big, and something that ushered in the positive. It ushered in my awakening. And of course, we have our own will. You can go either way. You can choose to stay where you are, or you can choose to change, to step into your divine purpose. So I chose to step into the new, my divine purpose. And it can be very, very crazy, scary, uncomfortable, right? And I've heard this before, and I want to see if I can say it right. Nothing great ever happened in your comfort zone. Have you heard that before? And so when you're uncomfortable, at least when I was uncomfortable, and I was feeling, I didn't know what was happening. I was spending a lot of time alone, and happy to do so. I didn't really want to be around people that much. I started to see myself a little bit differently. I started to attract a different type of person in my life, in terms of my circle, my community. I seem to attract more spiritually elevated people, and it was like they came out of like nowhere. And I had questions, and they gave me support, and they helped to kind of hold my hand a little bit, made it a little bit easier. So I feel really fortunate in that way. And many of these people I've never seen since. It was like they were just messengers there to assist me. But anyhow, so after a few years of that, of just purging and growing and letting go, and asking questions, but connecting with source and healing, lots of healing, and things started to change. Things started to go away in terms of what I felt was important in my life. I started to see myself in a different way, more about not what I represented, but who I really was as an individual. And I started to understand things that happened to me in my past. And even though they were unfortunate, because I really feel like thinking about my childhood a lot, that even though I felt I was in a very dysfunctional family, and there was a lot of abuse, physical, there was emotional, definitely, mental, there was a lot of manipulation going on, but we had no idea. We just thought this is family, this is normal. We did not know. I did not know. I knew something was not right, though, and I didn't see anyone kind of stepping in to try to change it. So, I just knew that I wanted different for myself, and I even deserved different. But I know a lot more now, and that's part of the healing journey. So, back to how I began to take that leap of faith. So I suppose Spirit was always kind of like nudging me and talking with me for a while, because I would hear like little downloads. It would say things like don't do nothing big, you know. And like, in other words, it was saying like, don't go make any huge purchases or getting into big situations, more about materially. Um, I felt that anything else that would kind of bind me to that situation. And I always knew that I would be moving. I had known that for at least 3 years or more. But it wasn't clear. I thought that the moving message download that I was getting was more about me moving house, moving cities. I never felt that it was about me moving to a different country or even being on a journey where you're moving to different locations around the world. I didn't know that. And traveling was never a big deal for me. I mean, I had already lived, overseas, abroad for 15 plus years. So I was very comfortable, and I'm the kind of person I will drop everything to hop on a plane, and there was never any place too far for me. It was just easy. It was like breathing. So there was no fear there, but I just didn't know. And of course, all I could say was that it's not like you get a message in a bottle, or they announce, "Bed, this is your assignment. This is where you're going. This is where you're gonna be. Get ready." It's just, you really have to just trust your intuition. And so things started to speed up because I've been on my leap of faith, my journey, technically outside of my comfort zone for about almost a month now. And right now I'm in Central America, but for 3 months, that's when I got the download. That's when I got the message. 3 months, and it was like a whirlwind. Things happened really, really, really fast. It was just crazy. It's unbelievable. I don't know how I did it. I feel like a badass. But Spirit was working with me the whole time, because once you get the message and you decide to take that leap of faith, nothing can stop you, because everything is working on your behalf to make this happen. So I decided to let go of my very comfortable, poshy, luxurious apartment located in the beautiful Napa Valley, surrounded by vineyards and all these amazing locations and places to go, things to do, and I let it go. Everything that I could sell, I sold quickly for little or nothing. It's amazing, because something that once meant so much in a matter of days changed. It was like it had no value at all. I had beautiful things, beautiful designer clothing, and beautiful curated furniture, and special things that I had curated from all over the world, all my travels, and I got rid of it so fast. I canceled my lease. Yes, I'm like, I don't care what it takes for me to get out of this. I'm out. And within 30 days, I had sold a lot of things and given away a lot of things, and I moved into a friend's 2-bedroom apartment. Her son was away for the summer, and I was like staying in his room, and I put some of my other things in her garage to be sold online or donated, whatever. And I was getting myself together, reconciling things really quickly. And for me, I guess there was nothing holding me back, because I have no children, and also, I was single at the time. So there was nothing really, really holding me back but me. And of course, my mindset was that all this other stuff didn't matter. And people around me were very, they kept saying things like, "Wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you." And I'm thinking, what the hell? What you mean you're so proud of me? You can do this too. And I could see that they kind of like were liking the idea, and there was a lot of projection, negative projection onto me from people that I knew. And I could even hear it, intuitively. I could hear the gossip and stuff, but it's just projection. And in the beginning, I wasn't telling a lot of people, but at the end of the day, once I got strong and once I knew I was standing in my power, there's nothing anyone could say that would make me change my mind. And so I felt like people around me, they kind of wish that they could kind of do this as well. So when they were saying like, I'm proud of you, it's like they could see this for themselves, but then obviously there were lots of reasons why they chose not to, or it wasn't on their agenda. But they kind of were like, let me see what happens. Let me see what happens with her, And so a lot of people did fall out of my life as well, including family. Some people that I considered friends, that had been happening for a little while, and which is fine, because not everybody can go where you're going, right? So it's not like you even miss them, or it's like even a loss. But I saved up as much money as I could. And even though we think materially, like we need this, we need this, we need that, we really need very little. And you're becoming a better version of yourself. Okay, you're stepping into your divine purpose. So it represents letting go of the lesser self, the ego, because the ego was really kicking my behind. It was fighting left and right because it wanted life. It was like, no, you're not letting me go. What are you doing? Because it really likes that control. Okay, and when you take yourself back, because you belong to yourself. Okay, yourself, your soul, not your ego, not your alter ego, not your ego, not your parents, not your spouse. I mean, you belong to self first. So you have to listen to your higher self for the answers. You have to seek your own counsel. Okay? Looking outside of yourself for answers is never gonna get it. You know and have everything that you need inside of yourself. Knowing that was a biggie. Okay? Because once I said, no, I'm choosing me. No, I love myself enough to trust myself. I'm looking forward to the new. And remember, the past, it wasn't all that bad. I mean, it was suffocating me because it was so expensive. But, I thrived in, challenging situations, but it was getting to be a bit much, and it wasn't really worth it, really. Was it really? No, it was not worth it. And at the end of the day, we come into this world alone, and we leave it alone. So being on this journey, really, and taking the leap was about me, choosing me, okay? And not really knowing what was in front of me, but just going on faith, definitely heart-based, big time, all the way, heart-based. So it was really like speaking a different language, a different frequency, and it was really uncomfortable a lot. And sometimes I would try to explain to people that were important to me, like, I'm gonna be okay, and this is what's happening, and they would look at me like, what, girl, what are you talking about? They had no idea what I was talking about. And I can understand because they based their lives on different things, but yet they were not really happy, but they were clinging on to what they knew, what they were comfortable with, which is okay, because everybody has their journey, right? No shade there. So I saved as much money as I could and sold everything, and it was just collecting those coins to put aside, and try to sort of liquidate my life in a way where, okay, I'm only going to take 2 suitcases, 2 like regular size suitcases and 1 small, and trying to fit everything that I had. I mean, I had a lot of stuff in my former self was holding on to a lot of stuff. And even so, the stuff that I brought, I go, you didn't really need all this stuff. I had a small suitcase, and I have 2 big suitcases. And it was like, man, I wish I had not brought all this stuff, but I did. But anyway, the point of the matter is that you can always let go of stuff along the way, right? So I got on a plane. I don't know why I chose my destination of Central America. I was just like, kind of like going in the dark and just like feeling my way, strengthening my intuition, listening to it. And I feel like it's not my final destination. I feel like I'll be headed to many different locations, meeting up with my soul tribe and people who really resonate. And I just want to clarify one thing, first of all. soul tribe. Soul tribe and or soul family. Okay, that might be a better way to put it, because we have our karmic family, which is our biological family, and sometimes some of those people can be your soul family too, but not very often. Okay, so karmic family, biological family, siblings, parents, family, extended family, that kind of vibe. And sometimes, they don't always belong where we're going, and sometimes they may belong, but it might change, and not for a while they're not there, but then maybe later on they're, things change as you grow. So everybody's journey is a little different. It's just my story. And you start to realize things, and you start to realize who the heck you are. You're like, wow, I see myself differently. And you kind of like, you like this person. I like this person. I like who I am. I like my growth. I'm vibrating in a good way, and I'm a little bit more protective of my energy, because once you know who you are and you understand how valuable you are, you treat yourself a little differently. Really, you're like, whoa, not this person. You just understand who's worthy and who's not. Even if your heart used to be like, wow, I'm a good person, and it's not even about that. It's about knowing your value, knowing yourself. Because here's the thing, you can give, but you still have to protect in order to keep what you have and also acquire more. So sometimes you've got to be on the defense about yourself. But you know this once you know who you are, once you know your value. Because you don't belong to everyone for everyone. Okay, you're not for everyone. Even if they want to be for you. So just use discernment. At the end of the day, once I collected enough coins to what I thought was comfortable, spirit, we know who's in charge of all of the money in the universe, right? We know. If you believe that your abundance is yourself and you use common sense, you're going to always make the right decision and never operate in that lack sort of mentality. Okay, because really having a currency or abundance is not just about money. It's not. It really isn't. It's not just about things. That's a byproduct of abundance. So once you're vibrating higher, because abundance, it's high, that low vibrational, that lack, that fear, all that, it's low. And you always want to stay here. So here I am, and the first thing that kind of happened, after being away in a new environment, and of course being away from your comfort zone, it's like you say, okay, wow. You see the little things, small little things. Like I mentioned in one of my former videos that as soon as I arrived to my then location, because I just kind of showed up at an Airbnb, there was just the most beautiful butterfly. Just came so close to me. And I could see all the details of colors, and it was like saying, welcome, congratulations. It was just, I just felt it. It kind of just sat there on the leaf. And I thought, wow, I see the magic. I see you. This is crazy. This is incredible. And I thought, wow, what's happening to me? I've taken the leap, and here we go. I'm on this new adventure of my life. Another thing I want to say is that not knowing and being with self, you can hear yourself. You can hear the messages, the downloads. You can appreciate the time that you have with yourself, without all the noise, without all the past stuff that, let's face it, living in the 3D world, we get up and the first thing we think of is what we got to do. Okay, what we got to do, how we got to make this happen, who we got to see, thinking about things outside of ourselves, outside, instead of tapping into inside to make things happen. So I started operating in a very different way, where I was spending a lot of time with self. Wasn't new, but really once you take that leap is like you've done it, okay? Because a lot of those butterflies or those that purging, that solar plexus energy, that lesser self, you let it go. You stepped into the new, and you're becoming, a higher version, and you already are looking a little different. You're vibrating a little different. Your flow is a little different. I'm just saying, wow, your eyes are open. You're like a child. You're like, wow, these things I didn't even notice before. I didn't even think about that because your mind was just so clouded with all this outside stuff. People, places, things. So being with self, more quiet, you can appreciate yourself more. You can kind of take your power back and savor it. Even things taste better when you eat food. You say, wow, this avocado is so green. I never noticed that before. Is this a different avocado? Or am I just, I don't know, And sometimes what I've realized about myself is that, living in an environment where there's abundance of food 24/7 and good food, and good wine and all that other stuff, it's like sometimes I would use food as a comfort, to comfort me when I get a little bit like razzled, like it's like a little hug, like a little kiss on the cheek, like, oh, just have a glass of this wine, or just eat this, or just eat that, or till you feel better, and I was constantly nibbling on stuff, this little stuff, just giving me that little extra, like, little hug, till the next time. I find I don't do that anymore. I don't really need that outside, like, stimulation where it's comforting me. I'm using it as a tool to make me feel better. It's incredible. I wish I had known that sooner. I might have been like 15 pounds lighter. But here I am, and it's not that things go bad or good, because if it's for you, it's never wasted. It's never going back. It's just going new. Okay? It's just going lesson after lesson, but also discovery after discovery, and freedom after freedom. Because you kind of get to be, who you start to remember who the heck you are, really. Because you're not looking outside yourself, right? You're not looking for approval or what people say or don't say to you today. You're just looking at, hey, wow, I feel good. I feel like, wow, everything is. I didn't see it that way before, and it's just a feeling of like, this is what it feels like to belong to myself. Is that I am betting on myself. I'm trusting myself. I'm loving myself. I'm doing what I like. I'm being nice to myself. I'm being loving to myself. I'm giving that love to me that I used to always just give away to everybody else. Yes, and many people didn't even deserve it. I mean, it's unbelievable when you think about that. You were giving away so much love to people who were not even worthy, who couldn't even hold a candle to you. You're starting to see that. You become a lot more selective. So I'm just finding that things are happening for me. This is just the very beginning. Of course, healing is just a lifelong journey. There's different layers, and I like spending time with people, but I also like spending time alone because I'm giving to myself. I'm not always looking for others to make me feel good, because I'm doing that for self. And of course, automatically you're vibrating high when you do that. So I would encourage anybody out there that's listening right now, if you feel your life is changing, if you're starting to see the signs, the synchronicities, you're starting to evolve in a way that is like you're getting the little nudges that no, something is coming, something is changing, something is for me, and there's no like you can't explain it, explanation. There's no, but you just know. It's a knowing. It's an intuition. You're starting to listen to it more, and the things that used to resonate with you are no longer resonating, and you are ready to take that leap into yourself, becoming more of yourself, and trusting self, and tapping into your intuition, and stepping into your divine calling, You know, and many of us are starseeds. We're healers. You know, we're intuitives, we're psychics, we're tarot readers. We do all kinds of divine work. You know, we operate at a very high level of sensitivity, and we have a strong connection to source, to understand, and we are rising up and coming out everywhere to elevate the energy here on this planet. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, even talking like that, but that's the only way I know to explain it. But I just want to say, if this ever crossed your mind, or you ever had that feeling, I would really encourage you to bet on you. Bet on you. Take the chance. Think about what's the best that could happen. Don't think about, well, at least if it doesn't work out. No, it's gonna work out. Okay? Just understand that you're operating at a different frequency, and you're learning a new way, a new language, a new way of understanding self, that you're using your intuition. You're tapping into source to understand, and you will be so pleasantly surprised. Your life is constantly unfolding in such a big way, and you know, along the way, you know, you're giving so much to yourself, but you're healing. And many of us are not healing ourselves, but we are also healing our bloodlines as well. Like, yes, you are the one. You are the one that's chosen to do this, for this assignment, okay? Are you gonna understand it? Because you're never alone. This is a huge task, and understanding that when you are healing, and you know, you heal others, but also you're healing your bloodline, is it's not for the faint of heart. It's a huge undertaking, and you will be rewarded in a big way. So all I can say is I just want to leave you on that note. And if you have comments, again, I'm interested to hear. This is a new channel. I have a lot more time now that I am operating in my on my journey. I have a lot more time for myself, and so I will be posting more videos on a regular, and I hope that you decide to be part of our community by subscribing. But also, you know, if this message really resonates with you, please give us a thumbs up, okay? I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on your divine journey.